okay. Not sure because yesterday we crashed a few times and that was unfortunate. But maybe today will go a little bit better. Solvin, oh my goodness, you're here already. Welcome. Hey, how's it going? We didn't see you around yesterday. Um, you were missing yesterday. Huge day. Ooh, you put the new transactional system in production yesterday. That's awesome. Uh, that's like the payment system? Whoa, 2 years of work. Oh wow. Can you link it? Is it? Yeah, it's in production, right? So I could just go there. I forget the exact website. Okay, let's see. Am I talking? Yep. Okay, good. Let's see. Is there? You can go there. You can see the product buttons show in the page now. And it takes you to a purchase page, but then the payment stuff is in a new screen, another service. Okay, so I can go here. We can play the video. Wait, I can go through. That's the whole video though. Is buying it just to download it? Okay. Oh, okay. So now this is here, and you can select the different options. And now if you go here, then you gotta log in. Oh yeah, wow. Well, that's awesome. Don't look at that. Don't look at what? Which part? It all look good. But yeah, I would love a screencast. That would be cool. Education. I forget, I honestly, you showed me this just a little while ago. I forget. I think this is all different, right? Is this all redesigned here? Oh, you can't see the process without creating an account. Oh, this is all the same. Okay. Hmm. Nice. This is a nice little tooltip. Yeah, it's nice and fast. What are you using under the hood? I think I'm blocking a lot of your scripts because of the, yeah, because of my ad blocker. But it still works. But it's just the analytic scripts. And you're using, wow, you support IE9? Wow. Ah, Satchmo. Head. Scorecard research. Hey, Android, how's it going? We're checking out Solvin's new project. I am looking at the source code. So is this the full video here? Like, what's the reason for downloading it if I can watch the whole thing here? Or is this just a preview? You only officially support IE11. Right. Huh. So the reason to download it then is just to like watch it offline, or if I need an institutional license and I want to proceed legally. Okay. Oh, nice. And you have an alternative French site. Yeah, they got all the Open Graph stuff, Twitter, all the favicon stuff. Yeah. Oh, sorry guys, I gotta sneeze. You guys should be very glad you didn't hear that. That was a very loud sneeze. Theme color. Okay, this is all like app icon stuff. A few different CSS files. Partenaris theme. Huh. I'm actually curious. Oh no, this is, well, I wonder if this is a public theme. Because I really like the way the site looks. But I bet it's a Partenaris. It's in-house. Oh, it's very nice. I like it a lot. Color box. I forget where color box is. I forget what that is. You have a lot of JavaScript in your head, which will slightly delay the loading. That's nice that you have the async tag on these though. That's really nice. So they'll load as quickly as possible, but they're not going to prevent the rest of the page from loading. And then down here, I don't think you have, yeah, you don't have the async tag on these. Yeah. Google Analytics. I hope you don't mind that I'm looking at this all live on stream. If you'd rather I didn't, just let me know, and I will desist. So this is if someone doesn't have JavaScript enabled, but you still want to get that analytics. This. I think this is a my Chrome extension. I think the best practice actually is, but hey, Alberta Brill. Hey, Alberta Brill, how's it going? What's up with you today? Sullivan, I think the best practice these days is to actually put all your scripts in the head, but just give them the async tag, which means that the rest of the page will continue to load. The browser won't stop to process the full script. Yeah, but it will start downloading them. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. But you guys got a few of them. Oh, nice. Hey, welcome to the chat. What are you working on? You can feel free to post your project if you're working on something. Or yeah, I guess I I posted there that I was working on a framework today, so I probably should do that. But Sullivan, that's great. Congratulations. That's 2 years of hard work paying off right there. Is that so? The payment platform that was the 2-year project? Yeah, no problem at all. You're walking by the street connected by the phone. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, definitely do like a screencast and paste it in the chat or just share it with me. Um, Alberta, I'm not sure exactly what you're saying. You're walking. Okay, so you're walking on the street and oh, you're okay, yeah. So you're streaming this on your phone in case it hangs. I don't know what you mean by in case it hangs, but okay, I'm gonna be right back. I sneezed really bad, so I just gotta go blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. I think, yes, you did. Jeez. Sorry, guys. My wife is presently sick, and so I might have to stop every once in a while and check in on her and take care of her. Um, yeah, she's kind of recovering now, but yeah, still a little sick with strep throat. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this. Let's see. So where I left off last time is I'm working on a multi-tenant version of the framework, which means that basically we have the local version. So I'm going to just like spell this out. Hey, Commander Root, welcome to the chat. So we have like the local remake. So let's just put like local here. We'll put remake up here. And we have the multi-tenant version. So normally, so like a normal developer who just like wants to build like for developers who want to build single remake applications. And we'll say like 99% use case. So that's for local. And I'll build this. Okay, and then the multi-tenant one is for hosting multiple apps at remakeapps.com. And then this is for developers who want to host multiple remake apps yeah, and we'll say like 1% use case. Yeah, so that's basically the idea. But we need the multi-tenant version of Remake in order to host, in order to allow people to deploy. This should probably be a landing page somewhere or some kind of explanation page. So we'll say local versus multi-tenant. So yeah, so I've been working on the multi-tenant version because I want there to be like a really simple, easy command. So like remake create will create a project for you, and then remake deploy should deploy a project for you to a custom subdomain. And then you should be able to tell people about that app or whatever and have them sign up. And you should also be able to attach your own custom domain name if you want. And we are, I think, 70% of the way there. So far, we have a server configured. It's serving multiple apps. So if you can actually test it out right now if you want. testapp1.remakeapps.com. This is deployed using our server configuration. This is actually one of the first Remake apps ever deployed, which is funny because you would think I would like deploy it just using like a single tenant node instance. Yeah, but it doesn't work with the CLI yet, so you can't do like remake deploy. This is just to test out the server config, which I can kind of show you and take you through if you're curious. It's pretty neat. Yeah, let's go into the Nginx config. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool. So this is how we do it on the back end. So Nginx just reroutes subdomain.remakeapps.com. So in the production it's .com, but on my local it's just .test. So it redirects that, or it proxies that request. It doesn't redirect it. It proxies that request to localhost port 3000, and then the app name is app underscore, and then the subdomain, and then the request URI. So that's like any path segments or query parameters, stuff like that. So what that means is that we can serve subdomains on our server because we have the app name as one of the parameter or path segments, as one of the path segments. So one of those things between slashes after the main URL. And so that's how we're processing it. So it's a very simple Nginx config. And actually we ran into problems when we were trying to deploy it because we used the same Nginx config on the production server, and we forgot to change .test to .com. So we were like, what's going on? But of course it was trying to serve requests from .com. But actually our production Nginx config is a little bit more complicated because we're also handling SSL certificates and like renewing those automatically. And actually it just has to be one SSL certificate because Let's Encrypt, which is the free SSL certificate provider that everyone's using these days, it recently started providing or allowing you to get wildcard certificates. So we just really need one certificate to cover, I think, all of the remakeapps.com URLs, the subdomains. So that's pretty cool. So we got that set up, the server set up. We have like a deploy script for provisioning the server, so we can get like new server set up really quickly. And one of the developers is working on user accounts, local user accounts. So they are allowing you to type in the command line, like remake deploy, and then it'll say, hey, we just got to know who you are first. Can you sign up? So then you do you type in like a username and a password, and it'll enter that in the production database. And then on your local machine, it'll add a token that'll, say that you're logged in. And then when you try to, deploy or something, it'll look up your account and then allow you to deploy. And right now it's going to be unlimited apps. So if you want to deploy 1,000 apps, we're going to let you do that. But pretty soon we're going to probably lock that down to several apps per person. But for now, we just want people to try it out. So that's the plan. And I think the other developer has the accounts set up. But the last step we kind of have to do is get the local app files. Hey, Tomesa1, how's it going? How's your day going? So we have to get the local app files to be uploaded to the server and put in the right place. So that's, that's hopefully not going to be that hard. And the other thing that I've been working on, which has actually been a ton of work, is making the underlying framework be able to be multi-tenant. So you enable that in the variables end file by just saying multi-tenant equals true. And then I also had to set up like Nginx and some a DNS a tool called DNS mask to reroute all subdomain requests on my local machine. But once I do that, then I can go into GitHub Remake Framework, npm run dev. Oh, and this is not, I have to undo a couple changes because I made a couple changes to record a tutorial the other day. Let me just undo those real quick. Geez, I don't want to undo them because it was kind of good to have, but it's fine. So we'll be back to our normal app now. So now if I go to localhost, or no, sorry. Now if I go to test app1.remakeapps.test, that should work. Yeah, there we go. So now that's serving a multi-tenant app from my local machine using the Nginx config that I just showed you, as well as a program called DNS mask, which allows you to reroute subdomain requests on your local machine. Whew. And the coolest thing about the multi-tenant version is that that it doesn't cache anything. So that might sound like a bad thing because actually, ideally in production, you want to cache a lot of things, right? However, for this first version, we wanted it to kind of be a naive system and not cache anything because the idea is that, say you start up your multi-tenant app and you have app 1, app 2, app 3, and you cache all the views and all the templates for those apps. Now when someone deploys app number 4, you're going to have to refresh the whole cache, right? And you're going to have to refresh the cache for all the templates and all the data and and this stuff over there and that stuff over there, instead of reading directly from the file system. So it's this whole other layer of complexity to keep track of, right? The cache. Whereas now what we're doing is just reading directly from the disk whenever you're rendering a template. So we're reading the data from the disk, we're reading the multiple template files it takes to render a page from the disk. We're reading the, I don't know, whatever other data we need to render the page. We're reading that all from the disk on every request, right? Which is not ideal, but it makes it so that when we deploy a new app, it's just going to work. We don't have to restart the app for everyone, right? We don't have to refresh any caching. We don't have to deal with any caching issues. So, yeah, that's the plan at least, is that it's just going to work. So that's the coolest part, but it also took the most refactoring because before I was caching everything in a really naive way. It wasn't super naive, but it would have. I'm trying to like think back now, like should I have done this? But no, I think it was a good idea. Because honestly, for the first like 100 users or even like 1,000 users, it's going to be really fast. And I mean that in terms of like developers. Like if you, even if you had like 1,000 apps deployed here, as long as you have fewer than probably like, I don't know, 10,000 active users or something, it's probably still going to be pretty fast to read from the disk. And we're going to have a pretty powerful server set up. So that shouldn't really be the bottleneck for now. Um, and it's done all asynchronously too. So that should be good. But anyways, the first thing I want to do actually is just kind of go through some of the multi-tenant code. One, because I kind of want to show it off. But two, because I'm certain that there's things that can still be improved. And I haven't, I went through it all kind of in a rush and like tried to get it all done, but I haven't really looked back through it and made sure, I'm doing everything correctly and there's no obvious bugs going on. So that's what I'm going to do today, at least for a little bit. Oh, and also, kind of cool thing, I built this asset bundler. So this is a custom asset bundler that basically takes all the assets from every app and puts it into a dist folder. Can you guys? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just assume you guys are still there. By the way, OBS might crash. I will be back if it does. It has some trouble with macOS, the latest version of macOS Catalina. So, nice. Okay, cool. So, yeah, this custom asset bundler is pretty slick. I'm pretty happy with it. But I do need to split it up a little bit. Oh no. Oh geez. That's awful. I hope that works out, Salvin. Um, Geez. Add on another year. That's how developers stay employed, though, right? Next, new requirements. Always coming down the line. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's good to hear. Hopefully, you get at least a couple days to celebrate, releasing the new product. Um, so yeah, I do need to split up this asset bundler because right here at the top we have these two sections, this initial run and then the watcher run. And so the initial run is to make sure that everything, all the assets compile. So that's just JavaScript and CSS, right? We're just making sure they're compatible with, older versions of Chrome or older versions of IE. So we're compiling the assets. Um, oh, yeah, no problem. So yeah, we're compiling Sass to CSS and ES6 JavaScript or ES6 and above JavaScript down to something like ES5. It might be a little beyond ES5. Hey, PK1, that's a cool name. How are you doing? And where are you coming from? How did you find out about this stream? Just curious. So the reason we're doing the asset bundling with this initial run and then the watcher run is because there's a few things we do. I want to actually really understand this. Yeah, so there's no way to actually tell when the watcher is done with its first processing. There is kind of, right? This is using chokadar, I don't know how you pronounce this, but chokadar under the hood. And there is a way to kind of figure out like, okay, when has it computed all the files in the initial, right? Because if this is false, if we set an ignore, sorry, just going back a second, if we set ignore initial to false, chokadar is going to actually compile the assets the first time that it runs. So, and that's what it is by default. I think it's going to, go through all the files, and in the directories that it's watching, it's going to tell us, oh, these files are here. And then in the future, if it changes, then it's also going to run then. But we have ignore initial here, and we're doing our own initial run. And the reason for that is because the way you tell that the initial has run from chokadar, it runs at a weird time if you're also doing asynchronous calls inside of your chokadar watch function, right? So we have this process file thing, and we run parcel from within there, and we run SAS compilation from within there. So basically, these are asynchronous commands. And I think, yeah, this is another one. So basically, we were like compiling. This was the main issue, though, recompiling the files for app. So this was interesting. So when you're building an asset bundler, there are a few things they don't tell you about. So one is that, okay, let's go into the assets. If you look at this, we have main.js, right? And then we have some helper JavaScript files. And we don't want to compile these separately, right? We want to include this inside of main.js, and we don't want a separate event helpers.js thing to be outputted. So in order to do that, we're not compiling any files with an underscore that starts with an underscore. So you can see right here, right here, we're seeing if it's an underscore file, which means it starts with an underscore, right? So we're just seeing, hey, does it start with an underscore? And if it starts with an underscore, then we are not compiling it, right? We're not outputting it as something in it, its own directory, right? We're only including it, right? We're only allowing it to be included in other files if it starts with an underscore. Now, the problem with that is that we need a way to still recompile the original file, right, the main.js, if one of its dependencies change, right, or dependencies? One of the things it depends on changes. One of its dependencies. One of its dependencies. I don't know why that's so confusing to me. One of its dependencies. Yeah, if one of its dependencies changes. So event helpers, if event helpers changes, we need to recompile this main.js. Now, how the heck are you supposed to do that? This kept me up very late at night. I was like thinking through this. How do I do this? How do I do this? Because I don't want to have some crazy library that's gonna like parse main.js and tell me what all of its dependencies are, and then somehow watch those dependencies and then recompile the main file by looking up the main file from the list of dependencies. It sounds like I'm rebuilding like npm with its dependency system at that point. It just sounds crazy. So basically what I did instead is I was just like, hey, if it starts with an underscore, right? So down here, if it's a JavaScript or a SAS file, right? Those are the two types of files that we're compiling. And it's an underscore file, and we have this value set to true, should recompute, then we're going to recompile the files just for the current app. So basically, we're going to look in the app directory and then look for the specific app. And if you're confused by what are all these directories, well, that's a good question. We really just need these two apps right here for the multi-tenant, but then this is a single tenant app right here, all of these 5 folders. And I can prove it because if you look in one of these apps, it has the same 5 folders: assets, data, layout, pages, partials. Assets, data, layout, pages, partials. So we really just have 3 apps here. These two, Test App 1 and Test App 2, run under the multi-tenant version, and then the single-tenant version is just at the top level. It's a little bit confusing to see all at once, but there's no case other than my case, where I'm actually developing both multi-tenant and single-tenant at once. There's no other case really where you would see these all at once. Anyways, let's go into Test App 1. So in Test App 1, we have these assets, JS and Sass. And basically, we're only going to recompile the assets that are inside of Test App 1 if one of its dependencies change. So if, say, event helpers.js changes or accounts_accounts.sass changes, then we're going to pass in whether it's a JS file or a Sass file that changed, as well as a file path. And then we're going to get the app name from that file path. And I'm actually curious how I do that. Oh, I don't know how I do that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I just cut out the end of the path for the file. So it's going to be like something slash app slash name of app slash assets slash name of the file. And we're just going to cut off everything after slash assets. And then we're going to recompile the entire assets directory. So, and then we're going to search for anything that doesn't have an underscore in it. And for every file that we find, based on whether it's a JavaScript file or a Sass file, obviously, and then for every file that we find, we're going to rerun the parcel or the Sass compiler. So, of course, I thought that building an asset bundler was going to be simple. I really did. I thought it was going to be like literally a 5-line thing, maybe a 10-line thing. Maybe if I wanted to make it really good, like a 15-line thing. But it turned into this 112-line monstrosity. And just because like at every stage, I learned that I wanted something slightly different. This is a great example. This single line right here. This will make the directory for the production file, the distribution file, the output file, if it doesn't exist yet, which of course, I don't know, it's like Sass, the Sass command line and the parcel command line don't know how to do sometimes. Or no, I think it's not, I don't think it's even that. I think parcel and Sass both know how to create the directory. It's the case where we're copying a file before we're compiling a file to the same directory. So if it's not a Sass file and it's not a JS file, we're just copying that file. And so if that path doesn't exist yet, it needs to exist first, so we're just creating it. I think that's the only case. I don't know. I'm actually not sure if parcel and Sass need the directory to be created yet, before they're able to do something. But if they do, then we're doing that anyways. So yeah, it was fun to build that. It's not working. Well, actually, no, it is kind of working, I think, 100% how I'd expect it to. Because I was thinking before it was only going to be able to compile a file called main.js and main.sass, because that's what I was doing in an earlier iteration. But now I think it'll compile any Sass or any JS file as long as it's in the assets folder and as long as it doesn't start with an underscore. So going back to what I kind of need to do here is I need to split out this initial run from the rest of this stuff. And the reason I need to do that is because we need a build step or a build command. So right now in our package.json, we have npm run dev, npm run asset bundler, npm run nodemon. We don't need this. parcel and sass anymore, or copy assets, or start. But we have this build command, which is the old build command. It's not going to work. This one's meant to work with project files, and we've switched everything over to the app directory. So this isn't really relevant anymore, but we still need a build command for production, because right now our asset bundler will not minify the files, because of course in your development on your development server you don't want to minify files because you want to be able to debug things, right? So if you minified things, then it would be a lot harder to debug. So that's why we need to split out this initial run, so that we can run it ideally before the dev thing. So maybe we can do like npm initial compile or npm run initial compile or something, and then concurrently do this. And then we can have another one for build and pass some kind of minify flag into that, which means it's gonna have to be able to parse an argument, I guess. But the reason for that is that we don't want to have this initial run here and then have another initial run somewhere else that's pretty much exactly the same, and then have them diverge over time when they're really supposed to just be doing the same thing. So let's let's do it, right? Oh, and let's get rid of this project files directory, right? Okay, so oh, and there's this thing too. Let's not commit this, because that's something that'll like serve as a to-do. Okay, let's see. Remove old code. I hate doing this. I should check if actually it works first. Okay, I can actually reload the server. Okay, so yeah, remove all the code. Commit, push. Okay, so let's get started on the asset bundler. So I guess what I could do is make another folder called asset bundler so that I can split this up into multiple files. I think that's probably going to be for the best. But then all the directories are going to be weird. Fuck. No, but really, this is really bad. I don't know if it's super bad. I mean, it's just going to be another debugging step, right? If I move them, I just have to go up a level, I guess. Yeah, that should be fine, but I always say that, and then I'm like, why did I think this would ever be fine? But no, I should just have to do up a level here, and directory, search, file path, and I think up a directory here, and you know what? I'm not sure. Oh, I guess I'm using file path in some other places. Am I? File path. Jeez. No, it is, but I'm thinking of is / not the same directory. Yeah, no, it's just I'm moving the asset bundler. I'm thinking about moving it into a directory. So yeah, I would just have to go up one. But it's just like, I don't know. It could break stuff. Like, it's just because sometimes build tools are finicky, like maybe parcel doesn't correctly support, going up a directory in some weird instance or whatever. It's just something that I would, like, this is working. I just like don't want to find out. Um, Yeah, so dot slash is the current directory, and so I would just have to add another dot, I think. That's what I'm thinking. To go up a directory. But I'm just not sure if I've caught everything. But yeah, probably, right? Let's do it. So let's do asset bundler as a directory. And then in here, we're going to do index.js, and we're going to copy our lovely asset bundler into there. And then wherever we have dot slash, we're just going to go up. Oh, don't want to leave that out. Okay, so maybe that'll work. And then here, asset bundler, node asset bundler. Okay, so then this is going to do node asset bundler. I wonder if I can just run it like that. Can I do that? On a directory? Node asset bundler. And now if I change one of these, yeah, it looks like it's working. So if I add console log 999, save this, and then go into remake desktop 1 JS main on search. Yep, it's there. Okay, so it looks like maybe it's fine. Maybe there's not really a big deal. Node asset bundler. So does it work the same if I do slash? And I wonder what's the idiomatic way of doing it, you know? So I did slash that time. I guess both of them work. I don't know. I guess I prefer to do it with slash to like imply that it's a directory. Okay, so that's still working. So now we just have to split things up, right? So now I should be able to do initial bundle, I guess, or initial pass, or what is this called? Ignore initial. Initial, maybe initial run, or initial build. I like initial build. Okay, and then we're gonna grab this, put it here, and this isn't gonna work because we don't have process file in a separate directory. So we're going to need to create something called process file.js, and then we're going to grab process file, which calls something else. Yeah, it calls recompile, and that's the only place it's called. So we're going to have to move that too. And get valid destination path is called from within process file, as well as in recompile. Okay, so we're going to have to move that too. And that's it. Okay, so we'll just move these three functions into process file. And then, you know what? I actually don't know how to do this. I think it's exports, oh geez, exports like this. I actually don't know how to do exports the Node.js way. Node exports. Module exports. There we go. That's the one. Module exports. Yes, that is the one. Thank you, Android. And then we're going to do process file. No, you're good. And now we need to make sure that this has all of the requires that it needs. So let's just give it everything, and we can remove stuff later. And we're going to also give this everything, even though it only needs 2 things, I think. And then we have to, from here, import process file. So process file is going to be require Rishab Deep Singh, exclamation point today. I don't know what that means. But welcome, Rishab. Rishab. How are you doing? So we're going to do relative, and then we're going to do process file. I am working on a framework called Remake, which is going to revolutionize the way people build web apps. That's what I'm working on. And I'm working on the build step for right now. So this is compiling JavaScript to ES5, no issues. And it's going to, we're compiling Sass and JavaScript basically for single tenant as well as multi-tenant apps. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. If you want to check out the framework, you can go to remaketheweb.com and you can see all the documentation we have. We have a new 15-minute tutorial up. So if you want to check that out, let me know what you think, if it's easy to understand or not. Yeah, GitHub is a good place too. But yeah, I'm actually going to have to rewrite some of the documentation because the framework's changing so quickly and we're getting ready for a public release very soon, in less than a month actually. The public release is going to be with a deployment service too. So you're going to be able to just type in your command line, remake deploy, and you're going to have a live app like this, all set up for you with a custom subdomain. And ideally a custom domain if you want it to. But I'm not sure how far along we'll be by the time we release, so hopefully we'll be there, but we'll see. Okay, so now we've got this split out into different areas. And this is actually a lot cleaner now. This is file launcher. Glob to search. Wait, do I use glob to search somewhere else? I do. Shoot. And I use it here. I use it everywhere. Absolutely, you can also work on it. There's a few. So there. Okay, so first of all, yes, you can work on it. Android 4682, this guy is actually working on it right now. He's writing tests for some of the underlying features. If you're interested in working on it, I'd say the first thing you should do is just try it out and see if you like it, and give me some feedback on it. And then, yeah, we can see what area would be the best for you to work on. There's a few outstanding bugs, a few outstanding issues, and we could put you on one of those. But yeah, just let me know what you're passionate about, as well as what you think about the framework. There is a group chat, so there's a Discord in the Twitch description. So if you go to, you're probably on this page, right? And then right here, if you click on Discord, that's an invite to the group chat. So I'll paste this here too. And Takudo Chiari says, if you have to compare it to another framework, to which framework would you compare it? By compare it, I mean to what framework is it similar to? So it's unlike a lot of frameworks, but it is very similar to a couple. So one is called Vapid, which is kind of a framework, but not really. And then another one is called Maven. So if you go to vapid.com, or you go to maven.io. Oh no, it's not maven.io. Is it Maven? I thought it was Maven. Maven. I thought this was. Oh no, this must not be it. Oh, Mavo, maybe. There we go. Yeah, no, it's not Maven, it's Mavo. So, a new approachable way to create web applications, create complex, reactive, persistent web applications by writing HTML and CSS without a single line of JavaScript and no server backend. That's pretty much exactly how I would describe Remake. Um, I think it is pretty powerful, just like Mavo, but I think, which one you choose is a matter of taste. And also kind of what you're looking for, right? What kind of stack are you looking for? Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is a great project, Mavo, and as well as Vapid. I've actually strongly considered using Vapid for some of my personal websites. Basically, the way Vapid works, you build your templates, and then they create your backend based on your front end templates. So they auto generate your CMS from your HTML, which is honestly friggin' genius, like genius level. I, I, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because I'm kind of trying to do something similar. But this is a production service that came out way before, I think way before Remake. So, they kind of got the jump on the whole market. And I think it's a really, really cool, I don't know. I think it's a super cool project. But basically, like, with like WordPress or something, you have to like kind of, you know, um, you don't have as much flexibility, and like you have to like design the whole site around a WordPress template. But with Vapid, all you have to do is like add a few special attributes, and then you get this like awesome backend that just automatically works. And if you specify that it's a photo, then they're just going to create an image input for you. If you want it to be HTML, they're just going to generate a rich text editor for you. So pretty cool stuff, to be honest. So yeah, I'd say these are the two that it's the most similar to in terms of style and simplicity and trying to, just make it really approachable, I think, for designers and for people who just just might know a little bit of JavaScript, just basic HTML and CSS and a tiny bit about how, data works. So yeah, let me know if that answers your questions. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, I think, create a config file. So I'm going to do, thank you to Tekuto Chiari for following. I really appreciate that a lot. So we got config.js here. Let's see, build, we'll call it build config. No, that's confusing because it sounds like we're building the config. We'll just do config. And there, what we're going to put in there is these things. And we need to get .env for that, which I think means that we don't need .env here or here. So we got this, is multi-tenant, is that, glob to search, is that. So now we can do module.exports equals, and we can, I think we have to do this. Thank you for the, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to Rishab. Salvin, you are very generous. I appreciate that a lot. So I'm not sure about this. Module exports. I don't think I can write this. Guys, do you know if I can write this? Like this. You know how it's kind of like I forget what you call this, where it automatically assumes that this is equal to this. What is that called? It's like object. It's not destructuring, it's the other one. It's the opposite of that. But I don't think I can write this. I think I have to set it explicitly with the with module exports. Module exports. Empty exports. Okay. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I wish documentation would just be like a bunch of examples. I really don't need an explanation a lot of the time. I just need to know like what's possible. I don't know. I guess we can try it, right? We'll just try it and see if it works. Okay, so now we need to include this config. So we'll say const config equals require, and then we'll do /config, and then we're going to console log the config. Okay, so now let's save those, and let's run node asset bundler, and it should give me what? It didn't give me any output. Oh, it built it. Is it going to get what? Why wouldn't it give me the config? It's running index.js, right? Am I? What is life? I don't know. Jeez, makes me like question my everything. What is this? Console log 123. Okay, run it again. We should see a 123 at least. Come on. What? What? Yeah. Is that supposed to be na 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 na? Oh yeah. Okay, got it. Let's see. Why? Why? Okay, let's run it explicitly, I guess, right? Asset bundler index.js. So wait, then it worked? What? What? No, wait, like, no, seriously. No, but oh, wait. Does anyone know what the heck's going on here? If I run node asset bundler, which is the slash, I thought it would look up index.js by default because I think that's what node defaults to when looking in a directory for a program to run. And it does do something when I just run slash, right? It's doing the build. But then when I run it with index.js, then there's an error. So it's different. So it's doing something different. And yep, I know exactly what's happening. Oh my god. Wait, how is this possible? Okay, well, obviously I left this file here like an idiot. So I guess it wasn't running what I thought it was running. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Okay, now it's looking at the right place, and now it's getting a consistent error. And we're also getting the 1, 2, 3, and the multi-tenant, and the glob to search. Perfect. So we can export things like this. Okay, good to know. Whew. Okay, sorry for the brain jumps. Yeah. Okay, so glob to search is one thing we need. And I think that's all we need. So from the config. So let's move the config down here, and let's do const and we'll do glob to search, and then we'll just do equal config. And why aren't we doing glob to search equals config.glob to search? It's because we're cool and we're going to use ES6. I don't know. It is shorter, I guess. So now we should have glob to search. So now I should be able to run this, and it's picking up the right one, and it's watching it. But you know what it's not doing? It's not doing the initial build, because that's in a separate file and it's not included anywhere yet. So now let's remove everything we don't need. So we need chokedar. Do we need shell in this file? We do not. Do we need path? And I'm sure this would be a lot easier using another IDE, but this is fine for now. fs, glob, we don't need that, and we do need process file. Okay, cool, 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 nice. Okay, so this file's good. Config is working properly. Chokedar, do we use this here? I don't think we do. We definitely use cell.js. We definitely use path. I think we use this. Yep, we do. fs definitely. We'll check. Yep. Glob, we are using it. Okay, cool. So that looks good. And then here, we're just using glob and fs, right? I'm pretty sure we're not using chokedar. We're not using shell. We're not using path. Nope, we're good. Okay, so now all of our files are looking good. Let's just commit this so far, because we're kind of changing things around a little bit. So we'll just say like changing directory of asset bundler, commit that, push out. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is the initial build. So we need to be able to run this. And I believe it should just run, right? So we should be able to do slash asset bundler slash initial build. Okay, cool. So can't, because we don't have the glob to search, which we're going to get from the config, which, wait, do we have config in there? No, we don't. Okay, nice. So now we got the glob to search, so now we should be able to run it. Process file is not a function. / process file, export process file. Process file is not a function. That's interesting, because it is a function in this one. So why wouldn't it be a function in this one when we're including it the same way and it's the same thing? Unless it's being modified somehow? I guess let's console log, we'll look at it, right? Process file, let's see what it is. Process file. Initial build 12, initial builds. It's not a function, but it is a function up here. Process, oh. What? So I know why it is. It's because here I shouldn't be exporting this as an object unless I want to get it like this, right? Then I think this will work. But then I wonder why this was working. I guess maybe it wasn't. We don't really know, so it probably wasn't. Nope, still not working. Is multi-tenant is not defined. Well, that's fine, because we know where that is. So we just get it here. Wait, and that's from where? Initial build. Oh, it's in process file. Okay. So we need to get it not in here, but in process file. So we're going to have the config here. Perfect. Okay, we're getting closer. We're getting more errors, but that's fine. No such file or directory. Copy file. Okay, let's get rid of this process file check because that's working now. We got past that error. App test app. App test app 1. So it's saying there's no such file or directory. Oh, in the original, I think. So if we go into app, test app. See, this is the kind of thing I was worried about. Oh, wait. It's looking inside of assets. Eey, that's rough. So it isn't actually, oh no, it is inside of assets. favicon.ico. No, that's where it is supposed to be. No such file or directory. I think it doesn't know how to do relative directories. Stupid copy file. Right? That would be the only explanation from process file. So process file is right here. Oh. Jeez. Oh, that's annoying. So I think it's maybe it's running relative to node. So maybe it's looking in this directory, and so it's trying to go up a directory. It's super weird. It's super inconsistent how different programs handle directories. Like some of them need absolute directories, it seems like. I guess let's look at the copy file. Because I think, let's see. I think the other ones are working. So let's just comment out copy file, and let's run it again. no entries found. Error reading. Okay, so the bundler is having trouble too. No such file or directory. Jeez. So maybe it's relative to where node is being run. So maybe I don't need these dot dot, maybe it's just like this. Yeah. See what I mean? Isn't that it's super confusing. But no, it makes sense because it's relative to where the node executable is, I guess. Okay, so let's, hey, Alirith TV. How are you doing today? What's up? So I guess we'll just leave it. I mean, we could use like dir name and like construct the whole path, but if this can just work, that would be nice. We might have to do that for like Windows or something though, so we might have to do that anyways, but I just kind of want this to work. Okay, so we're using relative to, oh yeah, we have to uncomment that copy file thing. See if that works now, which I think it will. Okay, so now let's confirm that it's working by going into app, and we're going to change the name of the favicon to like favicon1. run it again, and now if we look inside of remake dist, yep, we got a favicon one. So at least the copy file thing's working. I think the other ones are working. I'm just going to assume that they are. And let's see. So the next thing is so initial build is working, I think. I guess, yeah, let's test it more thoroughly, I guess. So in test up one, we'll just say console log, geez, 999, or I guess we did that before, so it's not as good of a test as this. Okay, and now if we look inside of app-test1, JS here, and we search for 6.5, hey, it's there. Okay, so that's building, and then if we look inside the Sass file and we just do body display flex, I guess. And then we run this again and we go inside of the Sass file folder, but we're not getting any Sass. Oh, geez. What? I don't know. Helpers. Oh, geez. Oh, it's because it's supposed to be in the CSS folder. There we go. Okay, well, body display flex. Great. So it's working. We're getting a bunch of extra folders that we don't need though. So I'm curious. Let's delete the dist folder entirely because I think it's been around for a while. Let's run this again and let's see what turns up. So we are getting a Sass folder. And in the CSS folder, we're also getting helpers. And in JS, we're also getting helpers. So that shouldn't happen. And I believe that's happening because this one. So we're gonna see if it's in. Oh, we can't see if it's an underscore file before. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna actually output is underscore file from here, and we're gonna move this into there. And so we're gonna do get valid destination path, and as soon as we get the dist file path, so the final version of the dist file path is right here, and we're going to do let is underscore file equal that, and then we're going to pass this out there. And now we have access to is underscore file here, which means we're not going to make the directory if it's an underscore file. And we're also going to rename this from is underscore file to starts with underscore. File starts with, should I just put like an actual underscore? That would be awful, right? That's like, doesn't make any sense. This is clear. It's a lot longer, but whatever. So that should work now. And now if we delete the dist folder, and we rerun this, whoop, dist file name, cannot access dist file name before initialization. Just, oh, dist file name. Oh, got it. Okay, path base name dist file path. So we can actually grab all of this up here, I believe, because we don't need the distir before it. Okay, yep, so this should work. Who knows, maybe. Geez. And now the copy file thing isn't working anymore. Oh, geez. No such file or directory. ./app/testapp1/asset/favicon1. That does exist. Remake dist app test. Oh, shit. No, we want it if it doesn't start with an underscore. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's run it again. Okay. No such file or directory. Why is it copying? Oh, it's copying files with an underscore. We don't want that, dude. Don't do that. Virgo Pros, welcome to the chat. File, oh, it's, file starts with underscore. File starts with underscore. File starts with underscore. Is file to be copied? Stats, if it's not a directory, if it's not a JS file and it's not a SAS file, and it's trying to copy SCSS file. Oh man. Well, I could just expand the definition of what a SAS file is. Or I could I think I could what do you call it? Like white label the files that should be copied. I don't know which one I prefer. I guess geez, this is so much more complicated than I thought it was going to be. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, includes is the right one. Okay, so we're going to do this one. Because what the heck, if you want to write SCSS, that should be fine. And hey, we're adding support for SCSS now, right? So it's got to be a good thing. And who knows if it works, but at least it's going to seem like it should work so that I can, you know, people can bug me and I can fix it if it doesn't work. But yeah, this should solve the problem. Although, why is it trying to copy a file with an underscore before it? Because that should never be the case, right? So let's run this one more time. And it worked. Okay, so we finally got it to work again. But I guess I want to decide, okay, if it's a file that starts with an underscore that is not a SAS file and it's not a JavaScript file, so it's not being compiled, do I still want it to be copied to the new directory? I kind of want to say, yeah, why not? Because the more freedom for people to include any type of file that they want, the better. But on the other hand, I kind of feel like being like pretty strict about underscore files and those only being things that you're, underscore files that start with an underscore only being dependencies, not being things that you want to copy. I think that's not a bad thing. So I think I'm going to do that. So like with SAS, usually you start a file, like a helper file with an underscore. Yeah. if it's like a helper. So if you don't want to compile that file, sorry, in Sass. So that's the convention in Sass. And I'm trying to make it a convention for JavaScript too, with this framework at least, where if it starts with an underscore, we don't want it to output event helpers.js. We only want to be able to include that inside of another JavaScript file. And so the question is, if it's not a JavaScript file and it's not a Sass file, do we still want to copy it to the distribution folder, the public folder on the web server, if it starts with an underscore? Ooh, awesome, Rishab. I really appreciate it. Yeah, let me know any feedback you have. Does it make you excited about Remake? Does it feel easy to understand? Yeah, so Sullivan, getting back to what you were saying, just like I think it's a decent convention to just be like all underscore files, no matter where they are, no matter what they are, they're always supposed to be things that other things depend on, and just have that be a hard and fast convention. I feel like that's not bad for, a completely custom framework to have that convention. Because like worst case scenario, like you're gonna have to rename your file that you want to be copied to not have an underscore, and you can just have it have a dash before it or whatever. Yeah, you can absolutely rewatch this from the beginning. It's gonna be on Twitch. If you go to Twitch, if you go to my channel and then you just click on videos, you'll be able to see this later. And also, I back all the videos up on YouTube onto my personal account. So you can also go there. Yeah, I have like a couple different accounts. It's unfortunate. I split the videos over them. But if you go to this playlist, it will be added there later. It's not going to be there right away, but I sync them about every 2 weeks or so. So yeah, I think I will do that. So if it's not a file that starts with an underscore, this is a lot of rules. Okay, cool. So we'll do that, and now we'll run it again. We'll see the output. And now we shouldn't get any weird directories in here. And we're just going to delete this actually one more time just to make sure. So we'll run it again. So now we shouldn't get any of these weird directories. So we just get CSS, JS. We still get this Sass directory. But at least we're not getting any of the other things. Oh, I know what's happening. So so it's detecting. So, okay, let's see. So for Sass files down here, I detect if it's a Sass file, and I rewrite the dist file path to not include Sass within it and not include CSS in it. So so dist file path, dist dir. So dist file path should never have /sass/ in it. So let's see why it does, right? I guess let's do dist file path here and dist dir here. And I'm gonna have to commit soon because hey, Alexander Ramos, I don't know how you say your name. Alexander Ramos from Brazil, is the BR Brazil. Welcome to the chat. And Edgen Live, welcome to the chat. Nice, cool. Are you, yeah, what do you do in Brazil? Do you work as a web developer? So I'm going to run this just to see what the directories are. And we're going to see where we're getting the SAS one from. So I'm going to just run it again to make sure we don't have anything else. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh, this is very interesting. Okay, so So I don't think we also this is so weird. It's so complicated. But I think we don't need to create the directory if it's a directory. So we're going to pass in whether it's a directory too. So we're going to say is directory, and we're going to do equals, and let's just search that because, okay, good. So it's just here. So we're going to grab that, and we're going to say, we're going to just replace that in there, but then we're going to also pass is directory into here, and then we're not going to do anything if it is a directory for making the directory. So if we're gonna say if the file doesn't start with an underscore and it's not a directory, then make the directory. Okay, so now let's delete our dist folder or dist directory again and rerun this. And let's look one more time and make sure that we don't get any funky directories. So now we just have CSS and JS and the fave icon. Nice. That works. That looks like it works. So let's commit this so far. Let's discard changes to this fave icon because I do want to keep that. They used to have in this menu for the GitHub client, they used to have discard all changes, and it was right below the discard changes option, and I would get terrified every time because I'd be like, I just made a bunch of changes. I just want to discard changes for this file, but if I move my mouse just a tiny bit, it's going to discard everything. So yeah, that was terrifying. We can discard this too. All we really did was do this, this, and this. So what did we actually do here? I think we just increased the rules. So better asset compilation rules that don't lead to creating empty directories in the dist folder, in the dist directory. And I think that's a good description. It's not perfect, and I would prefer to kind of like list all the changes, but yeah, that's fine for now. So we're going to commit that. So that makes me feel good because at least that code is out there. I can continue to improve it even if it's buggy, but at least I saved it, right? It's kind of like saving in a video game. I used to like playing like a PC computer game. I used to be one of those people that would hit, Control S every single second. Same thing for working on like documents or whatever. So that feels good. Okay, so now the next thing is to run the initial build and then run the asset bundler when we're first building. So we need to go into our package.json and I think what we can do is npm, I think this is a thing, I'm not sure, but I think we can do npm, oh, what should this be called? So asset, okay, so we'll call this asset bundler watch. And then the other one is going to be asset bundler initial build. Sure. Hmm. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's see. No, it's not in here. It's in asset bundler. So this initial build, I'm not sure about calling it initial build. Maybe just initial. Uh, first pass or something. I don't know what to call it. I just don't, I hesitate to put build in the word because build is like a production thing, usually. I think. I guess asset bundler initial is fine. And then in here, I'm fine with saying initial build. Although, yeah, I'm fine with that. So we'll just do that. And now we're going to say npm asset bundler initial and concurrently kill others nodemon asset bundler watch. I think this might work. Not sure. And let's get rid of nodemon for now, because I just want to test the asset bundler. We'll add nodemon in later, but for now this is just going to do the build, hopefully. npm run dev. Okay, cool. npm asset bundler initial. So maybe I misspelled it. I did not. Oh, this npm thing might be a concurrently thing. It might not be something you can do in general. npm colon, yep, okay. It is just that. So we're going to do npm run instead, since it's outside of the concurrently call. npm run dev, boom, boom, and now if we do so now if we do if we go inside of app1 and we go inside of main.js and we do console log 321 321 and we go into where it's supposed to be outputted and search for that, it's there. Okay, so it's watching, it's working. It seemed a little slow for the first build, but now it's doing fine. Let's put back the server thing, I guess. Oh, geez. Okay, so now we've got initial asset bundler initial. So now I need to know how to pass in arguments. So npm scripts arguments. I want to make sure I have an up-to-date answer. Short answer, essentially what you're wanting is to have an npm script, something like this, whereby arg here is provided via the CLI. However, it does not have a built-in feature to achieve this. The special npm option dash dash can only be used to pass an argument to the end of a script, but not to into the middle. Jeez. Mm. Why does everything have to be complicated? Oh my goodness. So I think it's just the dash dash thing. Let's see what this person says. Node server. Necessary dash dash. It is needed to separate the params passed to npm command itself and params passed to your script. Okay. Oh. Okay. So you do dash dash and then you do whatever you want. Okay. So now I need to learn how to parse arg. I think it's argv. I don't know. I think this is a thing. Okay. 2011. I just want to make sure it's up to date. I mean, it's probably accurate. Okay, so process argv. Okay, so maybe not that hard. Who knows? So we're going to console log this, and we'll just make sure we know what this is. And if I run this on the command line with just node node asset bundler, and then initial build, and then is it just dash or is it dash dash? Tom Jack 43. Oh, so you don't even have to do anything? So I can just pass in something like hello world, hello world. Huh. Okay. So production. So I believe we're just going to say, actually, I want to know if this is an array. Let's see that. So we're going to do array is array, and we're going to run it again. It is an array. That's very nice of them. Okay, so that now we're going to just say is production equals process argv, and I think we're always going to get something there. Like, I think it's always going to be an array, even if it's empty. Includes, and we'll just say production. Or prod or production. I think production is fine. So we'll say if it's production, then pass this into process file, and then in process file, we're going to have this variable is production. Which will also be passed to this recompute. And now we need like alternate syntax, I think, for this. So with this one, it should be easy. So we're just going to say like if is production, this one, else this one. And we're just going to, for production, we're just going to remove the no minify flag. Alexander Ramos from Brazil. Welcome and thank you for following. I really appreciate it. So for SAS, for npm SAS command line, I just want to know the, I think it's node SAS. Is it no? No, I think I just used, I just want to know if I can minify using this Banana Wave YT V and K and It's Voodoo. Welcome to the chat. npm install Sass. Learn more about Sass. I know about Sass. I just want to know about the command line. Okay, command line. Sass dart library. Do compile Sass. Writing Dart code. Sass Dart API. Minify? I just wanted to know how to minify. Node Sass minify. Please, please have support built in. Please. Output style compressed. Perfect. Compressed. Yeah, let's just trust it. Who knows, right? If it's gonna work or not, but so we'll say if is production, but if it doesn't work, you know, we'll know. We'll know pretty soon. So we'll do that, and we'll do else this, and then for this one, we're just gonna say output style compress for production. Okay, now we just gotta do the same thing down here. Parcel builds, yeah, geez. Okay, so we just have to do is production, and then we're going to do else, and we'll put that command in a second. We'll do if is production and else, and put that there. So now we just need to add our, oh wait, no, the minify one I think is simple here. We just remove no minify. I think so. I don't know why I would have had that in there if it wasn't the default to minify it. And then for the Sass one, we actually already have that in our clipboard. Okay, so that should be it. And now we should be able to run this for the initial build, which is the only thing that should have to know about it. So now if I do this initial build, and instead of saying hello world, I say production. Rishab, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you around next time. And have a good night. Bye. So now if I run this, let's see, we should get minified results. Or maybe it completely breaks. Okay, well, could not find option output style. Okay, well, sure. Oh, now it's just called dash dash style. Okay, so let's search for this output style and delete that and run it again. What? No, compress is not an option for output style. Style compress. Wait, what is not an option? Compress. Oh, now it's compressed. Jeez, why does everything have to change all the time? Change is not progress. Okay. Anyways, I really appreciate the people that work on this. So it's not really that big of a deal that I have to change a word. Okay, so now let's look into, yep, minified, and minified. Woohoo! That's great. Okay, so now we got production. So now if we run this with production, it'll work. Let's make a separate bundler, I guess. It's very exciting. So now I guess we're going to do asset bundler Production? Or prod production? That's fine. And for build, we're just going to do npm run asset bundler production. And for the production one, all we have to do is type in production here. But I don't think that's going to work because I think you need a special thing in order to pass that kind of thing in. I think what I need to do is do dash dash and then that, but I'm not positive, so I'm going to just try it. And we'll console log process dot argv, and let's do npm run build, and it did get production there. So I don't know. That's not what I was expecting. Is that what anyone else was expecting? That's not what I was expecting. Why would... I thought you needed a special thing in order to pass in... I guess we could read up more about it. Command line... No, it's this one. No, it's not that one. It's this one. Arg. Only... So if you use a dash, then you need to use the dash dash. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess it works then. I mean, it works. Let's go with it. Okay, so initial build, let's get rid of that console log. And I think we have a production build working now, which is amazing, honestly. And we can remove the comment from package JSON. And nodemon, sure. Asset bundler. I guess asset bundler can go below build, since it's less important, I guess. And nodemon can move down too. I'll make sure to put commas where they should be. Asset bundler, okay, make sure it works. npm run build. And now if I check, I mean, this isn't the best test, but look, the JS is only 80 kilobytes. That's not too bad. It's kind of bad. Because that's literally no custom JavaScript, really. It's just alphabetize them. IJKL. Okay. For you, Solvin, I will. Okay, so yeah, 80 kilobyte front-end framework. Oh yeah, there's something I wanted to do with the framework. I didn't want to load it if you weren't the owner of the page, because you don't need the framework if you can't edit the page. Josh, welcome to the chat. How you doing? Okay, so now we got the production build, I think. Let's run npm run dev to make sure. And we should get the more expanded output now. In a second, any second. There we go. Expanded output. Expanded output, nice. And if we load up localhost, there's no errors, everything's working perfectly. Maybe. And